Set 2, this is Zero versus Grape. I'm glad my internet alias is not Grape. Hey guys, coming at you with another Grape cast. No, that wouldn't fly too well, I don't think. Except, down at the 5 o'clock position in blue is Zero. That means down at the 8 o'clock in teal is Grape, who should be purple, but I'll let it go. Actually, there are some grapes that are teal, but I don't trust those. Don't trust him. I walk right by him in the produce section, give him the stink eye. I don't trust you guys. But anyway, enough of the produce. Let's get into the game. This is on Electric Circuit, by the way, 4-player map. And Zero, once the versus Protoss legend, has not been doing that great against Protoss this season. But neither has any Zerg player. It's weird, isn't it? Because I remember a couple years ago, people complaining about Zerg imbalance. Like, oh, the Zerg is best race, yeah. But now, not so much. Zerg are getting just curb stomped this season, which is kind of sad, because there are a lot of Zerg players I like. And I think the main reason for that is because the Zerg players don't really have a player they can look to as an example of something to aspire to. For Terran, you always have Flash. You always have Flash to look to get ideas for strategies, to just aspire to be as godlike as Flash is. And with Protoss players, you have like Stork and Bisu, Jangbi now, for the Protoss players to look up to. But for Zerg, who is there really this season? Jaedong has not been doing great. Not great at all. And I watched that Jaedong versus Flying match that everyone requested that I cast. I watched it live, so I didn't want to cast something I had already watched. But I did watch that live, and it's just embarrassing, man. Embarrassing. I mean, would you really expect a player like... I mean, even though Jaedong won that game, would you really expect him to make that kind of mistake, leaving drones on the ramp to block all of his units inside of his main? I can see him doing that for a minute, or 2 minutes, or 3 or 4, maybe even 5 minutes, but the 8 or 10 that it happened? Ah, it's horrible, man. Horrible. And the sad thing is, Jaedong's probably the best that Zerg has to offer this season so far. The rest of the Zerg getting curb stomped as well. But hey, Jaedong, he won that game. He showed that he still has the mechanics. He just gotta get back into the freaking Star Sense mode, man. He doesn't have any Star Sense. Didn't even look at his minimap. Okay, I don't want to go into that game too much. Don't want to go into it too much. It made like a little blood vessel in my head just pa! Just explode. I died. But then I came back to life to cast StarCraft. So, that was my weekend. The past couple of weeks. Let's see, Zero just put down his third at his natural. Tricky little guy that Zero is. And second base going to come up soon for Grapey McGraperson. Oh, Shiny McShinerson is on con, so I hope to see him play in the next game or two. That'd be fun. Shine games are always fun to play. Not play, but watch. I wouldn't want to play against Shine. I would be absolutely, positively destroyed. But it would be a fun story, I guess. Okay, there is Zero, and I think that the Scout was still in. Yeah, the Scout is still in for Grape. Trying to see the next building that comes up. The sneaky freaking Zero player. What are you doing, Zero? But the circuit base at the third, very confusing, is starting to be saturated a bit. Let's get a couple of drones going there. Cybernetics for Grape, and Grape is actually one of the 4 Protoss players that Samsung Con has been sending out basically in every series. They've been relying heavily on their Protoss players, and it's working out very well for them. Yeah, they got like Brave, Grape, Jangbi, Stork, just been sending them out to destroy everyone, and since Protoss has been doing so well this season, they have. And that's basically why Samsung Con's been doing so well. But okay, let's take a look. Here comes the first Zealot out for Grape. Grapey Zealot looking for fruit. Making his way to the base. And the Scout finally being warded off, I think, from Zero. Let's see where that probe went. And the probe is still actually inside the main. And the Zealot running back. For some reason, I guess just to get away from the Zerglings, the amount of Zerglings that are being pumped. The lair is up for Zero. So it looks like he is going to go standard for now. Let's see, Pro picked off. So the Pro finally, oh, a Hydralisk Den up for 0 and a lair. So going for a weird drop strategy of some kind. Or just trying to fake Grape out with the lair and go for kind of a delayed Hydralisk attack. And right now, Grape only has 1 cannon at the front, so this could actually be very bad for him soon. We're going to have to see if he does scout what's coming his way. The Hydralisk Den is very early. And some Zerglings being gathered up, possibly for an attack soon. There's a +1 upgrade being spun on the Forge. And the Hydralisk on the way, so this is going to be a very aggressive attack at the front for 0. This is a Hydralisk bust of the front, and it should be scouted fairly quickly. Yes, very quickly by the Corsair. Sees the Hydralisk going to have to put down a lot more cannons. Since he only had the only one cannon, it's going to be extremely hard to hold for Grapey McGraperson. Let's see how long he can hold. He just put down those cannons. 0 on the way quickly. He already has the Zerglings there to help out with this attack, focusing in on that 1 cannon. The 1 cannon goes down, pulling some probes off the line. So Grape is pulling some probes off the line, trying to get in and try to snipe these Zerglings. Look like he's not doing that great of a job of fighting them back. Yes, barely going to have that 1 cannon come up. No, it was sniped by 0. And it looks like it was just a perfect fake out from 0. It made Grape build another, gateway there. There's the GG already from Grape. Crumbles like a deck of cards. And that was an easy win from 0. Okay, Samsung Khan on the ropes. 1 game away from being completely eliminated and embarrassed. Let's move on to the 3rd set.